What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about one of my best shooting handguns. But before we get started, let's go ahead and unload it, safety check, make sure it's cleared, which is always done before the video, but you know we have to do it. The Springfield Armory XDS 3.3 Mod 2 in 45 ACP. Yes, I said it. 45 ACP in a little single stack handgun that a lot of pairs of pants you can fit in your pocket. Before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about a handgun that I really enjoy. A lot of people hate on it. They don't like the capacity. They don't like the caliber. But guys, this is a handgun that I shoot better than any other handgun I own, especially for its size. I mean, this handgun is an absolute beast right here. And on top of that, if you've ever seen this channel before, I like pocket rockets. I like stuff that is easy to carry, but still shoots really, really well. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. This thing right here is a second generation. The original generation had more of that grenade pattern, and it also had sort of more like a boxy, squared off look to it. What I did like about the Mod 1 though is they offered more magazine options. This only has a 5+1 setup that you see right here, a 6+1 setup which allows 3-finger contact right here, and the Mod 1 gave you a 7+1 setup. So you could get 8 rounds of 45 out of a very thin, light, safe, optics ready, or sorry, back then non-optics ready single stack. But today's versions are optics ready. So you could get more capacity back then, but at the same time, the whole point of this handgun for me is not capacity. It's its shootability plus its ability to conceal and disappear in your waistband, your pocket, whatever the case may be. Now, the overall finish on this handgun is unreal. There are no forward serrations, but in my opinion, you don't really need them. It's not something that's necessary on handguns. Yes, it doesn't hurt to add them. I don't know why they wouldn't put them, but at the same time, you don't need them to maneuver the handgun and work the handgun the way you want to. Now, like I said, it does come optics ready now, which is actually pretty nice, and there are some packages available online that when you order them, they already come equipped with different optics. Now, some of them are the Crimson Trace package, which I don't recommend getting the Crimson Trace, but other packages that I've seen out there are definitely worth it. Now, like I said, 3.3-inch barrel. And what's interesting about this compared to the 9mm version is this one is actually thicker this way in the grip. Now, the way I noticed that is I was going to my cousin's wedding, and we were driving to Michigan. And while in Michigan, we stopped at a local shop because I'm going to go shooting because, of course, Michigan, up north, they have, city ranges. They have land that's just open to anybody. Whoever wants to go can go. You bring your own targets, bring your own ammo, you're safe. They have all these different ranges. And so I went to get some ammo, and we stopped in the store, and they had this exact handgun used. And when I grabbed it, I was actually carrying my 9mm version at the time. I grabbed it, and I go, it feels a lot different, but it actually feels a lot better. So that is one thing about the handgun I like better than the 9mm version. Also, the Mod 1, they made a 40. So you can get this handgun if you really like 40 like I do. If you really do enough searching, you can find the XDS Mod 1 3.3 in 40. They also make them in 4-inch barrels. You can get different XDSs with 4-inch barrels. You're still getting a single stack, but you're getting much better velocity. I don't know if they make a 45 with the 4-inch barrel, but I'm just letting you guys know that option is out there as well. But I actually prefer the 45 version over the 9mm version. Even though you get better capacity with the 9mm version, I shot this version much, much better. Overall ergonomics is really on point with this handgun. And yes, you're only going to get 2 fingers on it with that 5-round mag. But you can put your finger underneath, which is what I do when I need to reload a mag. Right? You just move your pinky out of the way. So it's not that big of a deal. Overall feels pretty good in the hand, even with just 2 fingers here. You have a good purchase on it. Now, a lot of people see 45 ACP. In their heads, they think a bigger round, a smaller gun, this thing is going to be snappy. I kid you not, this shoots like my Glock 30. Recoil-wise. This shoots like my big old, heavy, thick slide Glock 30. And when you look at the overall size of this, this is more like a Glock 43 or a Walther PPS M2 or CZP 10M. Stuff like that. So this is a super tiny handgun that has the recoil of, something in 9mm, for instance, right? This handles recoil really, really well, or a thicker 45, heavier 45. Now, it does come with a rail, so you can throw a light on there, and it is Springfield Armory, so there's plenty of different night sight availability options out there. There's plenty of holster options, and I think these fit in the original XDS holsters as well, but I would double check before buying them. One thing I did notice is they angled the takedown lever like that, So if you pull your grip back just a little bit, you can catch it with your thumb. Now it doesn't feel the most natural, but if you're getting part of it, you can help fight some of that recoil, and it actually feels pretty decent in the hand and does help. But other than that, there are no memory pads, nothing like that. Everything functions. It launches your mag, it locks back, it releases that slide easily, so the function check is 100%. Sights, of course, is typical Springfield Armory, so they're going to give you that U-notch. You see that U? And then they're just going to give you a white dot front. But I have seen packages where they have a fiber optic front or a tritium, or you just buy aftermarket sights, which I probably am going to do here soon. Very easy to swap out. You know, it may take 30 minutes to take these off and put a new set on. So then you'd have plenty of, you know, the perfect sight picture basically. But the way I've carried this a lot in the pocket is with Carhartt pants. People always tell me, right here is my work carry. I'm actually carrying it right now, right? My Smith & Wesson M&P 40 Shield and 357 SIG. I carry it with the flush mag on it, okay? Well, people always tell me, there's no way you pocket carry that. I call it a pocket rocket because it's a single stack, just like this, but in 357 SIG, just like this. This is a single stack, very small in 45 ACP. They tell me you can't pocket carry it. Well, guys, I wear all Carhartt pants to work, and every pair of pants I have easily takes a single stack of this size or even bigger with a big Vetter pocket locker holster in the pocket, and you have zero idea what's in my pocket. You can't tell what it is from printing, and I can still get a good clean draw. You have to buy clothes for your setups, for instance, right? If I buy shorts with small pockets, then you have very limited options. But if I buy shorts with deep pockets, I now have more options. So sometimes with clothes you already own or existing, you know, collections of clothes, you may not be able to fit everything in the pocket. But if you buy accordingly, if you go to the store instead of ordering it offline, you can really double check that it fits your handgun properly. But overall texturing is good. You know, it's where it needs to be, and it's not too much. I could say they could add a little bit. It would feel a little bit better if they added it, but no need to put grips on this. It actually feels pretty good in the hand. Now, let's get into that trigger. And one of my favorite things about this handgun, it racks like absolute butter. I mean, as clean as can be, and that's part of the reason it handles recoil. Everything is just so smooth. That recoil spring is really nice. And another thing I want to point out, I always point these out because a lot of the Springfield Armory handguns have them. It has a backup feed ramp. That is why over 1,500 rounds to this handgun, not a single malfunction. If a round goes up, nosedives a little bit, it hits a backup feed ramp. There's your barrel's feed ramp. Right below it is another feed ramp. That's your backup, just like on the Hellcat, on the XDM, and stuff like that. So if it nosedives, hits that, and boom, right into your feed ramp, and boom, it takes that round. That is one of those features that not a lot of companies add in. I've seen it on a couple handguns, but Springfield Armory keeps it in there, and it just runs. Finish is just like my XDM. The finish is just like my Hellcat. It's like every other Springfield Armory I have, and it's decent. It does scratch, but it doesn't rust, and it doesn't scratch easily. So overall, really, really solid. Love it. Now, trigger is the last thing that I forgot to touch on. Trigger. It is a little spongy there, but for some reason, I shoot this handgun more accurately than any other handgun I own, and that's reset. You saw it really popped out, so you can really feel it. Let's do it one more time. You can really feel that reset, so it makes shooting the reset really, really nice. But overall, it is a little longer, a little spongier, a little heavier, but for some reason, this handgun is a tack driver. I mean, where you put this sights is where that round's going to go. You can shoot, you know, 6 rounds, 5 plus 1, and be hitting this. I mean, every round is basically hitting each other. I mean, this is a beast of a handgun. From 30 feet, 35, 40 feet, it's just on point, and the recoil is so minimal. So why get something like this? Why not carry 15 plus 1 a 9, 10 plus 1 a 40, whatever the case may be? Well, it's light, it's small, and with the right ammo from Underwood or Civil Liberty in 45, Underwood Extreme Defender rounds out of a 45 ACP is a beast of a round. They're lighter, they're faster, they're solid projectiles. It's everything you want in a slower round. It's absolutely perfect. So if you pair it with that, it makes for a nice, thin, light setup that you are on point and accurate with. So if I'm on point and accurate, really, 6 shots, I will be just fine. Backup mag, or even with this setup, 7 shots, I will be just fine. And plus, it's just a light carry. You know, throw it in the pocket and, you know, go to the grocery store. Throw it in the pocket, I'm going here. I'm in a nice neighborhood, whatever the case may be. But so you're still saying, why, you know, why this? Why not a 9mm single stack or whatever? Because I shoot it so well. That's simply it. I just shoot this handgun better than any other handgun. It's not the fastest out of all of them, but I shoot it so well. That builds confidence, and that confidence makes me want to throw up my rotation. You guys have seen my rotation. I have Hellcat, Shield Pluses, Glock 26s, M&P 40Cs. I have a little bit of everything. but this still is one of my favorite handguns to carry. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.